381. Honestly, I don't know why I'd bother with you. Do you?
Back at the train museum, we had the most dangerous ride in the world.
Here
it is. Oh. Here at Thirlmere Rail Museum, we have the most deadly ride of all. Beat the hell out of the Superloop. So, here it is, the deadly Wimp train.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, just slow. That's all I need.
Blow the socks off anyway.
Hey Dave.
Look, those wheels turn.
You got a phone number of David Mottram or anybody from Horn?
I actually wish buses went that far.
Green locomotive here, 3609, is a sister locomotive to 3642, which will be steaming today. 36s were built in big numbers from the 1920s. They were the backbone of the 43 class diesel electric locomotive. The diesel locos were introduced into New South Wales primarily at first to move freight. It was considered that the passenger trains would still remain the realm of steam, and in fact with the bigger 38 class that was the case. It took nearly 10 years for the diesels to bump the 38s off the crack expresses. But the 36 was the backbone for 20 to 30 years of all our high-speed passenger trains. They even ran some of the early air-conditioned expresses. They're capable of speeds up to 80 miles per hour, although generally they were limited to 75 miles per hour because of track conditions. They're a bit of a rough engine at speed. They do tend to jog around a little bit, and the tenders that carry the coal and water behind them move at a different rate to the locomotive. So when the locomotive lurches to the left, you can be certain the tender will lurch to the right. And you can't stand on the footplate with one foot there and one foot on the tender plate and hope to stay aboard the engine. That's virtually impossible. Quite a distance between the tender and the firebox as well. When you get up in the cab of one of these, there's enough room for about 12 people to ride in them. It means that the fireman, when he's firing the 36 class, has to take 1 or 2 steps. He takes the coal from the tender and then walks down and puts it into the firebox. So on a journey from Sydney to Goulburn, he feels like he's walked halfway there. You'll notice between the spokes on the 36 class, big heavy metal weights have been inserted. They're designed to try and balance the wheels to convert some of that reciprocating motion, the backwards and forward motion from the pistons, into a rate to climb underneath the thing. And their availability is far greater than that of a steam loco. The steam in general, you can expect for 20 to 25% of its working life to be in the depots. So for a couple of months of the year, that engine is not going to be in service. A diesel locomotive is available 7 days a week, 365 days of the year, so that they're just there all the time. And while maybe one individual locomotive is not as powerful as a big steam engine, if you couple 2 or 3 of them up, well then they exceed one big steam loco. And they have the advantage that 2 or 3 of them can be driven by the one crew. You don't have to have 2 or 3 crew to drive them as you would if you were double-heading steam locos. They're certainly more comfortable and they provide more protection from the elements than the open cab of a steam locomotive.